Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Jah Rastafari Haile Selassie I, John King, Black John King, African John King, Ethiopian John King, without apology. I'm Emmanuel, the Nyabinghi Italist, come to bring you a dish today. So I went to my veg store yesterday in town, and the man gave me a whole heap of big mushrooms, the big flat variety, whatever they're called. Anyway, so I'm going to be roasting those in the olive oil and then making a sauce out of asparagus, tomatoes and stuff to go with that, and serve it with mashed sweet potato. I already got some salad left over from yesterday, which is cucumber, I believe, and some tomatoes. So as usual, I'll take you over to the ingredients, take you through the preparation, the method, and then show you the dish at the end of it. Selassie Rastafari. So these are the mushrooms I mean. As I say, just large flat variety. Some of them buttons, some of them got the kind of, yeah, like that. Anyway, my man gave me about 10 of them still, so I'm going to be brushing those with olive oil and roasting them, and then making a sauce out of the asparagus tips, spring onions, tomatoes. There's some parsley there to garnish the sweet potato. There's some onion there to go with the spring onions. There's garlic in there. And there's some sweet potatoes and some chilies. I'm just going to be getting the condiments. Okay, so I've got a large vegan stock cube there, some black pepper in that jar, some curry powder in that jar, some all-purpose seasoning in that container, and some mixed herbs in that one. Can't think of anything else, but if I do, I'll bring it in at a later stage. So I'm going to be peeling and washing everything and then chopping it up, except for the mushrooms, which I'm going to brush with olive oil and put them in the oven. Before I put them in the oven, I'll show them to you. So I've got some coconut oil there to fry the vegetables, and some olive oil there to brush the mushrooms with. So all the parsley's chopped, tomatoes chopped, asparagus chopped, spring onions chopped, garlic hasn't been chopped, so I need to chop those. So I'm going to chop the potatoes in pieces and boil them, and as I said, brush these with olive oil and put them in the oven. Yeah, just forgot another ingredient, the tomato puree there. Okay, to be eco-friendly, I've decided to roast the potatoes and then mash them so everything goes in the oven. So there's 2 of the mushrooms in there with the potatoes, and where have I put the other? And that's the rest of the mushrooms that have been brushed with olive oil underneath and over. So one of the ingredients for the sauce was tomato puree. Don't know if I mentioned that. So I'm going to be putting all this in the oven, as I said, to conserve energy. And I may or may not mash these sweet potatoes, depending on how I feel when I see them. So these mushrooms are going at the bottom, where it requires less heat, and the potatoes at the top. Cost of this one, well, as I said, the guy gave me the mushrooms, so the rest of the stuff I'd say about £3. So that's good economical vegan Ital Rasta food. Food for life, life for food. Jah Rastafari. Okay, so the mushrooms and the potatoes are in the oven. I'm doing them at 200 degrees. And I've got some coconut oil in here, and I'm now frying the onions, garlic, chilies, tomatoes and asparagus in there. So I'm just turning over the mushrooms. The vegetables here are still steaming away. I'm just going to turn these over. I've turned over the potatoes and the other mushrooms. So the mushrooms are ready. I'm going to be leaving those in the oven. The potatoes are ready, and the veg is ready to add the condiments and make a sauce. Okay, So I'm going to add a bit of clean water to the veg and put that on a low heat now and add some condiments. So about a 1/4 tablespoonful of black pepper, and just under that. Level tablespoonful of all-purpose seasoning. Heap tablespoonful curry powder. And about 1/3 of a tablespoonful of mixed herbs. I'm also going to put in just a handful sunflower seeds just for protein. And this vegan stock cube once I get it open. So some tomato puree, so about a tablespoonful, maybe a bit more. I'm just crumbling in the vegan stock cube. Give that a good stir. And this is going to accompany the mushrooms. While it's heating up, add some more water if it reduces too much, because you do want the sauce with your food. Okay, so that's mixed up nicely. Alright, to the potatoes, I'm just going to add a tablespoonful of soya spread, and I'm going to mash these. I'm just going to add a little bit of oregano before I mash them, and I'll add a little bit after I mash them also. So I've mashed up the potatoes as best I can. I'm just going to add a bit more oregano just to flavour the potatoes, and then I'm going to put them back in the oven just to heat them back up. Okay, so the sauce is ready, and I hope you can see how rich that is. So the mushrooms are all ready, so I'm going to cover them with some sauce and then add the mashed potato. So the potatoes are ready. As you can see, they've crystallized a bit more and look quite appetizing. So there you have it, roast large mushrooms with a curry sauce of asparagus, chilies, onion, garlic, and you've got there some roast sweet potato mash with some oregano and served with some parsley, and that's served with a cucumber and tomato salad. Vegan food, Aital food, food for life, life for food. Haile Selassie I, Giant King, presides over Iman table, Rastafari.